So, hello everyone, and welcome to another section of our Talk and Flow section again. And we are today with Ayelet. She's a very special guest of us because she is part of our co-creation group, and she will be also part of our directory of experts. So, Ayelet, welcome again, and maybe you can just start to introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be part of this network. I think co-creation is such an amazing concept, and we're all moving in that direction, I think, ultimately. So I'm so happy to be here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a pediatric dietitian. I specialize in nutrition counseling for baby all the way to young adults. And I've really taken my private practice pretty virtual over COVID, which has been really cool to get to know people all over the place. And I really specialize in, just making the eating experience more pleasurable at all ages. So even the little ones with the breastfeeding and formula choices and helping parents work all of that out all the way to kind of picky eating and then some of the health issues that might exist around eating too in young adulthood. So it's been a really fun ride, and I'm so excited to partner with you.
Oh, we are also really happy to have you on board. And your background is just amazing, really interesting. And maybe you can just tell our followers what motivated you to start with your account.
Yeah, so during COVID, I felt like we all just needed more support. I felt like there was this, it takes a village. That's something we always hear. But ultimately, I felt like parents were drowning. There was just so much information. And, being able to figure out what information is relevant and realistic and reliable. And then on top of that, feeling really isolated over the last year and a half has been really challenging. I know, at least for me as a mom and as a practitioner, and then I saw it in a lot of other parents and families as well. So I felt like taking it virtual and going via Instagram and Facebook and getting on social media was just a really good way to let people know that I can help and kind of hopefully give out some really trustworthy information that comes from evidence and science, and the background required to really help parents make these decisions. And so it's been really more helpful than I even thought, to have this social media presence. So it's been fun, but ultimately it was like that struggle that made me want to do it a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I think Corona was actually a really great opportunity for many of us
Yeah, it
to
really.
find new ways to communicate, to offer your service, your help for others.
Right. It's hard to get the word out, especially when we're so isolated. So it's been great to kind of push out the information and at least help people that way, and then hopefully connect so that we could stay in touch later on. So it's been a really unique opportunity, and I'm very thankful that it's been working out.
Yeah, definitely. And now, when you say unique, um, what would you say makes your service unique?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's dietitians from all backgrounds. And I think when you have a specialist who comes from a pediatric background, it's so important because there's pediatrics is so nuanced. It's so different than adulthood. And the needs of an infant are so specific compared to a school age child, a teenager, a young adult. So having someone who understands those unique needs is so important. And then also just being realistic, right? I really try to stay realistic with all of my clients, because I could throw out advice, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you, or it doesn't mean you're going to want it. So I try to stay grounded and realistic and listen to what parents are telling me, and then work with all of that science and evidence-based backgrounds that I have to combine those two. So realistic and actually real advice.
Yeah, definitely. That's so important in topics with nutrition and children. They are so different. All families, all children, they are so different. You need just to focus on and yes, what you say, just unique with them.
Yeah.
So, and maybe just tell us what is your purpose with this account. So you say help. But do you have another special purpose, or what would you say about that?
Yeah, so I just want to bring awareness to evidence-based practice. So making sure that your practitioner has had the right background to help you, I think is really important. And like we said, has a specialty in your area of need is really important. And then ultimately just to let people know that I'm here to connect, hopefully. So give information, give accurate information, give realistic information, and then hopefully connect and of course grow the business into whatever it becomes. But just to let people know that I'm around, and pediatric nutrition doesn't have to be so scary, and feeding your kiddos doesn't have to be so overwhelming. If you have the right support, it can actually be really fun, and it can be actually really relaxing. Even if it doesn't feel like it yet, we can work together to get you there.
Definitely, that sounds so great. And we are happy to have experts like you with us, working with us, and definitely that will be a really, really good
Yeah.
experience. And at least maybe just if you want to make an invitation for our followers to follow you, but also to follow us, maybe you can just tell us something.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have a network of experts, right? And that's kind of the advantage of having this like co-creation community, that you get to draw from everyone's expertise. No one can be an expert in everything, right? You can't. It's impossible. But we can all feel confident that when we work together, we ultimately can help people better. There's so many different facets of life, and raising kids, and we need help from so many different sources. So just collecting them all together and being able to feel empowered to reach out and get that help is so important. I mean, I'm always calling like physical therapists or occupational therapists or feeding therapists and asking things about my kids, asking for advice and guidance. So I just love the idea of having a group of professionals to turn to. And I want to be able to have my followers and my clients have that network too.
Of course, of course. I think that will be a really, really good opportunity for all us to communicate with other experts and to have different perspective about this
Right.
great topic and children. We are really happy. We are really happy, and we can just wait for it on June, at the end of June. So, Ayelet, thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here, and we are just looking for the future with you.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's so fun to be here.
Okay, have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.